Die!
Nothing.
Should have known it would happen, shouldn't we?
Murray!
We killed Murray. We finally killed Murray. Should have moved the pillow,
Should have put the
I
pillow
guess.
on the floor.
Yeah.
I put it there so it didn't smash all the stuff that's underneath of it.
How are you, YouTube? It's your boy, Ben Barrett.
And I'm your gal, Al, and we're back again with another episode of The Weekend Escape.
That is correct. This is the show where we tell you everything we've learned this week. For example, I learned that you should never ignore repeated sightings of a black dog because it's probably a sign of your imminent death.
And I learned that when your friend is convinced of their imminent death, there's no bringing them back from it. Hello?
What? Sorry, what?
Are you going to be alright to do this?
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Look, the dog doesn't know the code to the building and I'm leaving my WoW account to you.
Gee, thanks. I don't know what to say.
It's fine, it's completely fine. I've set up a standing order, so it's paid until 2043, and the legacy of my alter ego, Murloc Mike 69, will live on.
Right, well, just make sure you stay with us for this, okay? Because it's time to tell you what happened this week in PC Gaming.
And that's why it's imperative that you have to log in daily, otherwise you can't do the world quests and get the emissary caches. Please tell me you understand.
Yes.
It's imperative.
I understand. Can we do the news now?
Now that my dying wishes have been respected, yes we can. Kerbal Space Program has been bombed over a single line of text from Chinese users.
Wow, what did it say?
The phrase was printed on the side of a space shuttle in the main menu and translated as, "Without reaching Mun, you are not a good male." Tell me about it. The context is a bit tricky, but basically when they changed it, people got upset because the wording alters a traditional proverb.
Huh. I don't think we're really in a position to comment on that, but it seems a shame that Kerbal's review score is suffering for something that isn't actually part of the game.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of stuff that isn't part of the game, you have some good news about tutorials?
Yup, Tekken have dropped tutorials altogether, because it turns out people don't actually play them.
I never play tutorials. I find the idea that someone could teach me something I don't already know kind of unbelievable.
Well, you're not alone. Bandai Namco have access to plenty of player data and realise that the vast majority of their players skip straight to the main game. So nowadays they teach the basics through story mode instead.
I've got something to say about stories.
Whoa, we're nailing these segues today, aren't we?
Yes. Apparently, Gearbox are hiring a writer for an unannounced FPS RPG hybrid and want somebody with a love of comedy writing. What Gearbox game do you think it could be, Alice?
Battleborn?
No.
Duke Nukem?
No, it says here that it has strong characters. that's definitely not Duke.
Brothers in Arms?
A comedy Brothers in Arms? God no, they'd never do that.
Homeworld?
It's Borderlands, Alice. God, it's Borderlands 3. It's got to be. It's just a shame I won't live to see it.
Not this again. You need a distraction. How about we talk through some of the most memorable tutorials in PC gaming?
Blood Dragon remains the strangest Far Cry, a sort of interactive VHS action movie in which you distract your enemies with 20-sided dice. But what sticks in the mind most is its tutorial, the ABCs of War. Activated as a prank by your superior, this training exercise teaches the basics of stealth, takedowns, running, walking, and jumping on the spot. All a bit humiliating for a cyborg assassin. Eventually, the game throws you about 10 pop-up windows in a row, just for a laugh. And it is a bit funny, but there's a problem with this self-aware parody of long-winded and patronising tutorials. And it's that, well, you still have to play a long-winded and patronising tutorial, don't you?
Just let me kill people, damn it.
You can argue that all of Portal is one long, pretty much perfect tutorial. I mean, think about it. It's a series of rooms that gradually introduce you to new mechanics and possibilities. Each challenge is set up to teach you a new skill and, well, by the end you're just about ready to play Portal 2. In fact, here's a bit of trivia for you. Before Valve put a story into Portal, they found out that testers assumed the game was the tutorial. That's why they invented GLaDOS. So, in a way, tutorials gave us the best story PC gaming ever told. Thanks, tutorials.
Long before In Exile made Wasteland 2 and Tides of Numenera, they released The Bard's Tale, a pastiche of RPGs that made fun of all the cliches, starting with the first quest. Ever been sent into a cellar to clear out the rats? Then you'll probably appreciate The Bard's Tale's take on it. I could describe it, but to be honest, you're better off watching it yourself. Roll the tape.
Oh, and my sword is quite big enough to handle any troubles you might have.
Good job, lad. You already know how to attack, but let's talk about defending yourself.
Attack! Charge! Attack!
Resident Evil 6 isn't destined to be remembered for much, but at least it can claim to have one of the most expensive tutorials ever committed to code. There's a huge orchestral score for starters. There's a first-person intro, reminiscent of something from The Amazing Spider-Man, and there's some incredibly detailed animations masquerading as QuickTime events. On the positive side, we'd never been taught to look around while under fire from a helicopter in a burning city street before. It's just a shame that the only really useful thing we learned was how to turn herbs into pills. I still use that one today, actually.
Let's end on a tutorial that's memorable for all the right reasons. Perhaps Modern Warfare's training range worked so well because it didn't feel basic. Yeah, you were executing on instructions, but there was plenty of room for skilled players to execute on them better. Once you finished, you were given a timed score and a suggested difficulty level, which sort of made you want to do it again. And the best bit? It was actually walking you through an assault course version of a later mission. Yep, this training exercise was almost a game in itself. In fact, I don't think I'm quite done with Modern Warfare's tutorial yet. Call me a recruit, will you? I'll be right back.
So, how did you rank?
Recruit.
Sorry?
Recruit, Alice! They told me I was a goddamn rookie! Anyway, enough of that. It is time.
Ooh, goody, my favourite bit! Sweet, sweet savings!
Yep, this is the part of the show where we tell you what's cheap in the world of PC games and why you should buy it. This week we're back on Steam.
And first up is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Game of the Year Edition.
Ooh, very good.
With 60% off until Sunday, so you've not got long, but that's an amazing deal.
You're damn right it is. We all know The Witcher 3 is an awesome RPG where you get to play as sexy Geralt for over 100 hours, but what makes the Game of the Year Edition so special?
Well, with the Game of the Year Edition, you get the base game and all of the additional content that's been released to date. This includes Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine expansions, which will give you 50 hours of additional storytelling, including new features and areas. You'll also get the extra weapons, armour, side quests and game modes, not forgetting the newest Gwent cards. It also includes all technical and visual updates as well as a new user interface that was completely redesigned based on feedback from the community.
Okay, so it definitely is worth it. Is it worth it?
Ben, we're talking about a game where you get to play as a professional monster hunter. Of course it's worth it.
Oh, okay, you've convinced me. I'm gonna go buy it.
Okay, but after this, yeah? Glad you're staying, because one of my favourite games is up next.
Oh, what's that?
City Skylines and most of its expansion packs.
That is a multiple whammy.
You know it is! You can get the base game with 75% off right now and a bunch of expansions with money off too. It's a modern take on the classic city simulation we all know and love. It introduces new gameplay elements and you really learn just how hard it is to create and maintain a real city, all the while expanding on some of the usual tropes we expect from a city building experience. I streamed the new expansion Green Cities with Ben Maxwell yesterday. So look, we've got a fire engines are going to our fire.
How did they manage to set that on fire? They've only just moved in.
I know.
Idiots.
Oh, you already replaced me with another Ben.
No, this Ben's been around for a while actually. I think Joel actually hired him.
Oh, so everyone in the office is trying to replace me. I see. Okay.
No. But getting back to the sale, I also wrote a piece on this expansion and it's on the site right now. You should go check it out.
Oh, you write now too, do you? Oh, I suppose you'll be writing news soon when I'm gone.
Ben, you're not going anywhere.
Hmm?
No, Ben, you're not going anywhere. What's next?
The last game in the sale is Pathologic Classic HD, which is currently 80% off until the 23rd of October.
Ah, I think I remember Joel and Phil playing Pathologic the Marble Nest a while back. It's all about plagues and stuff, right?
Yep, that's right, although it looked like Phil kind of just enjoyed riling people up and getting them to fight him.
Stop it! Why are you hitting yourself, Marek? Why are you hitting yourself? Stop hitting yourself.
Amazing work.
So this is the HD remaster of the original, which came out in 2015. It's a first-person psychological survival cult classic. You control one of 3 characters as you try to save a mysterious town from a horribly deadly plague that can't be stopped. Can you imagine having your fate laid out for you with no choice but to submit to it and accept it?
Sounds positive.
You're right, it's been quite positively received, I think.
No, I meant that it's a plague that can't be stopped, but you're trying to save anyone anyway. I was being sarcastic.
You know what else is positive?
Is it patch notes, Ben?
Let me say it.
Okay.
Patch notes! Alright, Alice, in an attempt to make patch notes more exciting, we're going to play a little game. It's my dying wish.
How many do you have?
It's my dying wish, Alice, that you tell me everything that happened in the Dust 2 update to Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and you're not going to use any pieces of paper, we're not going to have you cheating with anything, I've cleared everything off the desk, there's nothing you can do.
No.
And you're going to do that, is that my phone?
Yeah, well, you're not going to need it when you're dead. So they replaced the Dust 2 map with its updated version, improved bot navigation due to on Danuke, new jump landing sounds for all major surfaces, unique noises for picking up weapons and bullet impact sounds for vehicles and barrels, rebalance the volume of music hits, added, well, you know. Do you want it back? Oh, I guess you won't need it, will you? Are you going to tell us everything about the full update in Civ 6? Are you ready? Are you ready? Right, 3, 2, 1, you're gonna go now.
There's 2 new pantheons, there's a complete religion overhaul, there's a new unit for religious combat. Getting kind of sad about religion.
Oh. Probably
should have found that by now.
I mean, what's that in aid of?
Just relishing my fan mail one final time.
Right.
You know, before I die.
Well, you're going to like this first comment. It's from last week's episode and it's from Tom Beatson and it says, "So happy to hear Ben's G status framed by Kano."
I can confirm that I am a direct, rude boy. Tom.
That's a good joke. I'm sorry, but you've never listened to Kano in your life. The only grime in your house is on the windowsills.
3 wheel ups in a row, that means I'm a direct rude boy. 2 yachts on my own, that means I'm a direct rude boy.
Savage. Speaking of, KCA was admiring our savagery last week and said, "Would you say you guys have backlogs? What are the best games sitting in your respective backlogs? I'm trying to decide if I should finally start The Witcher 3 or XCOM 2 or Mafia 3 or pick up Shadow of War." It's a good question. What is in your backlog, Alice?
I want to finish Dishonored and then play Dishonored 2 and then maybe after that play Doom and Prey.
There's a lot of Bethesda in there, but I like the Doom. I can recommend that. And
Okay.
in real life too, actually.
Okay, well, good. Moving on to the next comment, it's from Sergeant Chutney on one of our hardware videos, and they say, "I like chutney."
I like chutney too. In fact, a good onion chutney is one of the few things that can distract me from the abyss. And of course, the big black dog that's stalking my every move.
What's wrong?
Can you not see the dog?
There's nothing there.
It's stalking my every movement. Get it away.
Ben, there's nothing there.
Get it away!
Ben, there's nothing there. Ben,
Die!
there's nothing there. It falls to me to announce some breaking news in the world of PC gaming, which is that Ben Barrett, your boy Ben Barrett, is dead. He died as he lived, tripping over a cable in the studio while pursued by an imaginary black dog. If it seems like I'm laughing, it's only to keep myself from tears. This is a tragic event that I had absolutely nothing to do with. Why would I? Ben has been my friend. A friend who has interrupted me and undermined me. A friend who would have mansplained his own death to me if he could have. A friend who I categorically did not push over a cable. I mean, why would I? That cable alone must be blamed for his death. We weren't rolling when that was happening, were we? Can I see the dates? Never mind. We'll just play the montage. Join us now in celebrating Ben's life and listening to the music he specified in his will. Let us commemorate his work in the way he would have wanted, which is by liking and subscribing. Thank you.
The N stands for naughty.
Oh, tight D double E, that's a real OG. I said, oh, tight D double E, that's a real OG. Mod, reloading. Pop, 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 that's a reloading.
Let's go. My favourite Ben.
3 wheel ups in a row, that means I'm a direct rude boy. 2 yachts on my own, that means I'm a direct rude boy. Man can't call up my phone.
I hear you're in need of a host.